You thought the Spinosaurus's cry was a roar like you've heard in the movies? Big mistake. This is the real voice of this behemoth. It's not just the sound. Even the very impression of him in your head is likely wrong. He's not the king of the dinosaur world. He is the ghost of the dinosaur world. 100 million years ago, this monster ruled a territory that even the Tyrannosaurus Rex dared not approach. But what's even scarier is this. We studied him for over a century, only to realize we never truly knew him at all. This is the Spinosaurus, and let me tell you one thing that will make the entire paleontology community feel ashamed. The story begins with the lost face of 1912. When German scientist Ernst Stromer first unearthed Spinosaurus fossils in Egypt, he was ecstatic, transporting them back to the Munich Museum as a national treasure. But in 1944, Allied bombers razed the museum to the ground. Stromer's fossils, the only physical evidence we had, were gone. From that day on, for exactly 70 years, every Spinosaurus model in every museum and every documentary was essentially a lie. Scientists, working with a few vague hand-drawn sketches, simply made him up. The Spinosaurus in our collective mind was a fiction. That was until 2014, when a discovery in Morocco left the scientific world in stunned silence. It turned out that the Spinosaurus's hind legs were only 1/3 of his body length. He couldn't stand upright at all. Think about what that means. It means the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, the one that snapped a T-Rex's neck while standing tall, was purely a movie effect. The real Spinosaurus? On land, he could only crawl on his belly like a crocodile. His top speed was barely 5 kilometers per hour, slower than an old man walking. Imagine an 18-meter-long, 6-ton beast, reduced to dragging itself across the mud. You might think that sounds pathetic, but don't feel sorry for him. He didn't need to run on land because his true stage was underwater. In 2020, scientists unearthed a complete Spinosaurus tail, and once again, the lab fell into an eerie silence. That tail was flat and broad, reinforced with bone spurs. It didn't look like a dinosaur tail at all. It looked like a giant oar. A team from the University of Milan 3D printed a model and tested it in water. The results were staggering. The propulsion efficiency of this tail was over 30% higher than that of modern crocodiles. The Spinosaurus's underwater burst speed could easily surpass human swimming world records by more than double. With a bone density of 0.968, bones almost as heavy as stone, he was unique in the dinosaur world. Only modern aquatic animals like penguins, seals, and hippos share this structure. The Spinosaurus could sink to the bottom of a river like a stone and then quietly glide toward his prey. He wasn't a hunter fishing by the riverbank. He was the god of death hiding in the murky depths. And look at that mouth. Long and narrow like a crocodile's, it was packed with conical teeth, twice as many as a T-Rex. His jaws were lined like a net of harpoons. Once he bit down, the more the prey struggled, the deeper the teeth sank. There was no escape. Even his nostrils were evolutionary genius. They grew on the back of his head so he could submerge his entire body like a submarine, leaving only a single nostril exposed to breathe. His lower jaw was filled with sensory pits that could detect the faintest vibrations in the water. Even if prey was 20 meters away in pitch darkness, he could pinpoint their location with the accuracy of an invisible tracking system. Then there's the sail, that massive ridge more than 2 meters high on his back. Scientists fought for over 100 years over its purpose. Was it for heat dissipation? Courtship? In 2023, a Harvard team used computer simulations to reach an unexpected conclusion. That sail was a stabilizer. When the Spinosaurus chased prey at high speed underwater, that sail acted like the keel of a ship, preventing his body from rolling over. And when he surfaced, it acted like a shark's fin, announcing to every creature for miles, "This water is mine." But every extreme evolution hides a double-edged sword. 93 million years ago, climate change hit North Africa, sea levels dropped, and the vast river systems began to dry up. The massive schools of fish disappeared. For other predators, it was a nuisance. They simply changed the menu. But for the Spinosaurus, it was a catastrophe. His narrow snout couldn't crush the thick bones of large land dinosaurs. His short legs couldn't catch nimble prey on the plains. His fragile claws would break if pushed too hard. He was like a gambler who put all his chips on a single card. And when that card failed, he had nothing. Exactly 27 million years before the asteroid hit Earth, the Spinosaurus vanished in silence. The last of his kind likely lay on a parched riverbed, staring at a flood that would never return, and slowly closed his eyes. From the first fossils in 1912 to the ruins of 1944 to the revelations of 2014, 2020, and 2024, the Spinosaurus is perhaps the only dinosaur that becomes more mysterious the more we study him. The truth we believe today may be overturned by a new fossil tomorrow, but that is the most fascinating thing about science. We are facing an abyss 100 million years deep. relying on broken bones to piece together a lost world. The Spinosaurus won for millions of years, but he lost to a shift in the climate. He conquered the underwater world with extreme evolution, but he was also trapped by that very extremity. Evolution has no end, and survival of the fittest is always a dynamic gamble. Today's king may be tomorrow's fossil. Next time you stand in a museum looking at a Spinosaurus skeleton, remember, you're not staring at the remains of a loser. You are looking at a prophecy about the ultimate. He was the perfect answer for that era, but he lost to a problem he could never have expected. This may be the cruelest truth of evolution. No one is perfect enough to fight all futures. Every advantage we humans are proud of today is only a suppression of our current environment. The Spinosaurus didn't lose a war, he lost a gamble against time, and that is a gamble every species on Earth is still playing.